I don't know about you, but every time we get close to the trade deadline, my stomach starts doing flips. There's that mix of hope, nerves, and that little voice in the back of your head asking, are we actually building something here? Or just spinning our wheels again? And right now, with everything going on around this team, there's one rumor floating around that honestly made me stop and just stare at my phone for a second. Because this one, it's not just any potential move, it involves them. You know exactly who I'm talking about, and if this actually goes down, it could say a lot about the direction this organization is choosing, not just for this season, but for the next few years. Something big might be brewing ahead of March 6th, and it's the kind of move that could either quietly reshape the roster or spark a full-on debate in this fan base. So, before we get into all of it, I need a real favor from you. A lot of you watch these videos every single day, but you're not subscribed. And honestly, I need you. If you care about this team, if you ride every high and every brutal low like I do, check right now if you're subscribed. My goal is 500 subscribers, and we're closer than you think. Let's prove something. Let's show that Canucks Nation is louder, stronger, and more loyal than anyone gives us credit for. If you're watching and you're not subscribed, hit that button. Be part of this from the start. All right, let's talk about what's really going on here. The Vancouver Canucks are officially being linked to a potential deadline trade with the Edmonton Oilers. Yeah, them. We're less than 3 weeks away from the March 6th trade deadline, and once the National Hockey League lifts the Olympic roster freeze next Monday, things are expected to heat up fast. And from everything we're hearing, Vancouver wants to be active, not passive, not sitting back, active. This team is clearly in that retooling, get younger phase. Management has been upfront about wanting to reshape the roster. And right now, Patrick Alvin and his staff are evaluating all their options, especially with pending unrestricted free agents who are almost guaranteed to draw interest from contenders. But here's the thing. Rebuilding doesn't mean you ice a roster full of kids and hope for the best. You still need insulation. You need veterans who understand what it actually takes to survive an 82-game grind in this league. And that's where this rumor gets interesting. According to Nestor Quickston in a recent piece for Heavy Com, Vancouver could once again look to Edmonton as a trade partner, just like they did last June when Alvin pulled the trigger to acquire 9-time 20-goal scorer Evander Kane. So, what's the name being floated this time? Andrew Mangiapane. And honestly, this one makes a lot of sense if you really think about it. Mangiapane is 29 years old, under contract for one more season beyond the 2025 to 2026 campaign, and carries a cap hit of $3.6 million annually. Not cheap, but not outrageous either in today's NHL. The Oilers are reportedly looking to clear salary to make a bigger splash before the deadline. And with Stan Bowman trying to add a major piece or two for a playoff push, someone has to move out. Mangiapane hasn't exactly been the perfect fit they hoped for. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Last week, both Thomas Drance and Harmon Dale of The Athletic also listed Mangiapane as a potential Canucks target. They pointed out that while he's not as much of a slam-dunk bounce-back candidate as Warren Foegele, his contract might actually be harder to move right now. And that's key, because if Edmonton is desperate to clear cap space, Vancouver could be in a position to take on what's considered a distressed asset and potentially get a meaningful draft pick attached as a sweetener. Now that's where my fan brain starts spinning. If we're likely to be out of the playoff mix again next season, and let's be honest, that's not impossible, you could flip Mangiapane at the next deadline and possibly double dip on assets. That's smart asset management. That's thinking ahead. But here's the emotional side of it. Are we comfortable helping Edmonton load up for a cup run? Because make no mistake, if this trade happens, it's probably because they're gearing up to go all in. And I hate the idea of being the team that makes their lives easier. At the same time, if Alvin squeezes a good draft pick out of it, if this helps us build something sustainable instead of chasing a wild card dream every year, that's the kind of disciplined move good front offices make. Mangiapane isn't a superstar. He's not going to change the franchise overnight. But he plays hard. He's been a 20-goal guy before. He can bring energy. And more importantly, he fits that middle six veteran profile that can stabilize younger players coming up. This is the balancing act, right? Get younger, but don't get naive. Add assets, but don't clog the cap. Stay competitive, but don't fool yourself into thinking you're one move away. And if this is the type of calculated move we're making, taking advantage of a rival's cap crunch, I can live with that. Because at the end of the day, what this rumor really tells us is that management isn't sleeping. They're exploring everything, even uncomfortable conversations with our biggest rival. And that's what matters right now. This franchise is at a crossroads. The fan base is impatient. The pressure is real. We've missed too many windows before by being stuck in the middle. If this front office truly commits to building the right way, stacking picks, managing contracts, thinking 2 steps ahead, then maybe, just maybe, we're setting up something sustainable instead of chasing short-term headlines. But man, making a deal with Edmonton will never feel normal. Now I want to hear from you. Would you take Mangiapane if it means getting a solid draft pick attached? Or do you refuse to help the Oilers under any circumstances? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read everything. And if you're enjoying honest, real talk about this team, no corporate spin, just fans talking hockey, hit like subscribe to Canucks Nation Report. We're still a brand new channel trying to hit our 500 subscribers, and every single one of you helps build this community the right way. We'll see what happens before March 6th, but buckle up, because it feels like something's coming.